schools. Sorry.
No, I begin recording.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
sorry.
because we then put the video into YouTube and other channels, you know.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You are going to be a star.
Thank you.
We make stars, you know. Still make stars. Great.
Yes.
Stars. You are already a star. You are the expert, you know. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah. When I started working at academic lyceum somewhere in 2014, and there was this presidential decree 1875 where all teachers should have at least B2 and C1 levels, and there was this new assessment and where TFT courses started and everything. I was just in right time, and there was like a lot of teachers really wanted to prepare for this B2 and new way of teaching. New way of teaching is this including reading, listening, writing, and speaking. And unfortunately, there were lack of teachers in Nukus, and I was like really in this mood of helping a lot of people because when you are young, when you are full of this enthusiasm, when you are really full of knowledge, and there's a lot of patriotic feelings where like in one place and really wanted to share this knowledge with a lot of people. But I realized that it is impossible to cover all these teachers in Karakal, Pakistan. And I thought like how to do that. So I started sharing the materials. I started even visiting these regions to talk about this SEPAR, and there was IELTS as well, but not UPTIS that time. And however, like giving materials and as well as some instructions kind of helped some teachers, but not all. So I just wanted to show like for people to like to help them. It is also possible to like, you know, prepare by yourself for CFR and UPTIS. So I have been teaching CFR and UPTIS for teachers for the last 2 and 3 years, but CEFR and UPTIS for the last, I think this from September. Just a second, just one. Sorry, and I'm sorry, I got distracted. Where was I?
You are in the right place and saying about the importance of UPTIS because you haven't got, yeah, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was talking about the teachers who were getting CFR and UPTIS. I was preparing them and they were also getting their certificates. But I was also sure, especially when I was preparing teachers for UPTIS, I got so bored with it because there was no challenge, there was nothing to give, it seemed to me. So I thought, why not? Like teachers prepare themselves and get it, because there is nothing a lot to learn. But for CFR, if you already prepared for CFR and IELTS, then it is like, you know, UPTIS is kind of piece of cake, I thought. So now I'm going to ask you some questions about your level of English. How have you achieved this level of English? Anyone can answer this question.
How have you achieved this level of English? Okay. Level. Who has C1, guys? Among participants, who has C1 level? I got B2. Так, Shahnoza Kurambayeva, she has B2. So who has C1, guys? C1, focus. Not yet. Okay. In Usti, we always say not yet, because not yet. And anam kısın operasyası, you know. Mana bugün anaqada iştirak webinarda o'tgan galgi webinarda ishtirok etmaganlar uchun biz alam qism operatsiyasini boshladik. And one more thing while they are thinking about their levels. So Camilla, it's our rule. You should share your presentation with the participants. We are going to show it in the Usti Telegram group.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I will send it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So there are 35 of us. Okay, so my level is B2. As for me, my level is B2. So I have my CFR is expired, but I'm going to have TKT. I don't know if somebody helps me, but I always self-prepare for this kind of exams.
So Jamila, how have you achieved this B2 level? Because it's not also easy.
Yeah, I know, because you know, I have just it was in 2014 when I just came back from the United States, and I was full of energy, and I told myself, oh, it will be very easy to pass the exam. But unfortunately, I failed in writing skills. I was already ready for speaking, but I failed. And I cried to everybody that I failed, because everybody should know, because I didn't know how to write essay. I didn't know that it has body part, conclusion, introduction, and it says I just write what I know about topic. But at the same day I bought a small book, writing in IELTS, or IELTS in writing, I don't know. It is a pocket book, and I began preparing. But in Tashkent region, our authorities decided who applied for CFR. They gathered us there were about 40 people, and 3 days, you know, Dilfuza Karimova prepared us, and the fourth day was exam, and all of us asked her to show us how to write essay. And told us, unfortunately, there were only 2 of us who passed among 40. You know, it was disaster. It was disaster. But next time it was much more easier for me to pass those exams. But now I want to B2. I think it is not enough for any ELT in Uzbekistan. So we should climb to C1. I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
So it was just, you know, it was my desire, great desire to have that CFR. But now I am crazy on teaching clearly. Everybody knows who participated in webinars, clear content and language integrated learning. It is just before English for specific purposes. So,
yes.
No, that's why I should have C1, which I
yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Guys?
Anyone?
Guys,
would like to share?
Feel free and participate in the discussions, guys. Hello. Are you English language teachers, guys? I just want to remind you that you are English language teachers, and just tell us about your level. So as it's
hello, I'm here.
Nora, yes, Fazilat.
Yes, it's me, Jamilopa.
Yes.
I've also got my CFR certificate, but I'm going to apply for the IELTS degree. Yes, but it takes, as Jamila Opa mentioned, that is much courage and hard work. So,
yes, wish you good luck. This is wonderful.
For speaking, I think as Camila Opa need to be in abroad, because when you have experience in abroad, you will have more like speech fluency as a native speaker.
Okay. So thank you, Fazila. But we have
Thank you.
Bakhtigul Kadarbayeva. She says that she has C1 from Aptis. Hello, where are you, Bakhtigul? She's from Nukus, as it seems to me, huh?
Let's see.
Yeah. So, Bakhtigul, she told us, I mostly read news in English, listen podcasts, and talk with people around the world. Oh my God.
Yes.
Very good experience.
Yes,
Bakhtigul,
exactly.
where are you? Bakhtigul, hello. Okay.
Okay. I would like to ask the next question. What are you doing to improve it now? Like Bakhtigul said, she's listening to podcasts, she's reading the news in English, and others, like what else are you doing?
Camila, will you just move your computer in order to see, or we see only the part of you? Yes, just,
What should I do?
Just, I don't know, just move your computer in order to see, like me. Everybody should see your face. Okay. Oh, yes.
Oh, you can see me. I said, okay. Okay.
Good. So, so achieve this level. What are you doing to improve it? So everybody is working hard. You know, Camila, you it's maybe you will tell us how you it is your you will tell us.
Yes, just questions. Yeah, and then I want to move on. Okay. For example, maybe later on you can add your ideas for this, but you can see my screen, right? Yeah. Okay.
We see.
Yes, discovery of taste of self-preparation. What I want to share is here, self-preparation is the most effective one for all of us. Just we have to know and feel what is self-preparation. Because most of we say like, okay, I come from this region, that's why we don't have teachers who can prepare, or I don't know what aptis is, or I don't know what is CFR, or I don't know what is IELTS, and people say IELTS is very difficult, that's why it is impossible without seeing an IELTS instructor's classes. But after talking to people who got 8 or 8.5 on IELTS, or the people who got CFR C1, when you talk to them, most of them actually did it because they did self-preparation. Now, as I said, like I have been teaching teachers for to help in order to help improve their English level since June. And when during this half year, I came to know like those teachers who really worked on their English, not only the materials that I gave, but the materials they also found themselves actually achieved the C and the B2. That's why when I myself also prepared for English the first time, when myself I started working on my English on my own, then I can say like I felt a really sudden boost in my English. Recently, you have mentioned that my speaking was kind of better because I went to abroad. It was not like that, actually. When I went to Brunei, when I started talking to these local people and the people who came from other countries, or the students who already did their master's degree in Cambridge universities, and when they said like, my English is really good, and I was really surprised because I achieved that level when I was in Uzbekistan. I don't think, and I'm a type of person who doesn't get along with people easily. I never come up to a person and talk, or I never try to find a native speaker, even like, you know, in Nukus. I never go after a tourist or a person who can speak in English. And it was really like, you know, big embarrassment for me. But what I'm going to share how I improved my level of English, the speaking English, later during this presentation. So my discovery of the taste of self-preparation, I would say this grammar book, Murphy. most people see it. Nowadays, we're trying to avoid only focusing on grammar, but still, this was my foundation, especially Murphy. Even like every example, every sentence, it like, you know, got stuck in my head, because during my self-preparation, I really did every exercise of this book from the beginning till the end, and I was really enjoying. Even though I was taking English classes that time, I had been taking for 4 years, and then I came to this book, grammar book. I was like, oh my God, I had wasted so much years. I didn't learn anything in my English course. Always this grammar book, you know, opened all these grammar rules. I started differentiating do from does, or have from has, what is present perfect and what is past simple. So, and the second one is this Headway collection books. We know, I think you're already familiar with this book. You use it in your classrooms for elementary, pre-intermediate, and the intermediate level. But this book I started using in my classroom. During this my studies at World Languages University, I started working at Language Center, and there we used this Headway book from beginner, and then pre-elementary, pre-intermediate, and then the way this book and the materials. I was also learning and teaching, and that kind of helped me to it's also kind of self-preparation. And movies, especially Friends, I was crazy about it. And after watching this Friends, my listening kind of got from 7 to 8.5 on IELTS, because for the first time when I took, my listening was 7, and after 1 year of watching Friends, it was like 8.5. I was really surprised. And the self-talk. As I said, I was a very shy person who never talked to anyone, but self-talking was my, like, you know, best thing, which I kind of taught to myself. It always worked, because you start thinking in English, like especially when, you know, Tashkent is big, and when I was on the bus, I used to describe all the people around me using the adjectives. Talking to people, I should have said differently. For example, I was not good at even, you know, I was not a person who could confront or speak up when there was unfairness. I couldn't say to that person that there is going unfairness. So like in my head, I used to talk to that person in English, because when you are talking to that person in English, you sound more polite, not like angry in your own language, right? So, and creating this imaginary people kind of helped me to do well in IELTS later on, the speaking, because in speaking parts, if you have looked through these cue cards, you know, there are a lot of questions about describe a kind of misbehaving child in the public or something like this. So if that person kind of offended me, I would imagine that what if like he could be a polite person, how would I speak? Or saying the stuff I couldn't have said in reality. That's also something like that. Because when we are talking to an examiner, we usually get really nervous and the anxiety level really increases. So when you already speak to yourself and when you hear your own voice, it might sound embarrassing, but when you already overcome this, your own embarrassment, then the examiner seems much easier. By the way, it is like after taking IELTS 5 or 6 times, I made sure that when I speak to myself a lot, so examiner never seems scary to me now. Hopefully, I'm also again taking IELTS next month, so we will see how much I managed to overcome my anxiety. So that's what I can also suggest, because anyway,
man ko'rmayapman ularni. Ana, Dilafruz, kirish olmagandan telefon qilishyapti. Telegram kanaliga o'tishsin, ссылка bergan. Berilgan. Kamila, sorry, okay. Chunki ko'pchilik.
Question, Kamila.
Yes, I should continue.
When are you going to take IELTS? You said next month, right?
Yes.
And do you know that what exactly part are you going to do some preparation, or without any preparation you take an exam? Thanks.
Before, as I said, I have taken IELTS 5 or 6 times now. I even confused, lost this, track. But the first time I really had a good preparation, especially on writing task 2. And then I got 7 on my writing. But the rest, like second or third time, I didn't like see it or prepared, just watching movies and reading English literature books, and then taking IELTS and seeing what it was like, because I was also like preparing students for IELTS. But then I got 7.5. The rest was all the time 7.5. Now 7.5 doesn't sound cool, because earlier, today, like 2 or 3 hours ago, one of my students whom I prepared at presidential school got 8.5 on her IELTS, and I was like, oh my God, this is so fantastic score. But still the teacher has 7.5 is, I don't know, kind of not shameful, but still you really want to get higher score. So I am working on cue cards now with my students, and also preparing at home myself and teaching them the vocabularies that I've learned from different kinds of books. That's how I'm preparing for cue card. And when it comes to writing, I will share how I am working on my writing as well later on. Yes. Any questions?
We still have people who cannot enter the webinar. I don't know why. We have the links. Okay. I want to settle this problem. Okay, any questions you may ask? Lola wants to see you. Barno Abdurasulova is here. They wanted to.
Aptis. How to prepare for Aptis. Yes, I was talking about this to a lot of teachers today.
Lola, что-то у тебя не получается.
For Aptis, there is one thing like when people come to me, like the teachers, they say like, I really need to take Aptis. I have only 1 month, or I need to take CFR C1, or some people come, I don't know which one to take, IELTS, CFR or C1. So whatever test you will take, I say like the journey is the same. You should work on your reading, listening, writing, and speaking. As I said, first time I IELTS, and then last year, and I didn't prepare for CFRC1 because I thought like IELTS is the #1. So can you hear me well?
Yes,
Because,
yes.
okay. So because, and especially on Aptis, I had no idea what Aptis was. Somewhere in April last year, I took it in 2021. And all I knew was you will take it on computer. So when I entered this, there was like, rules where you were supposed to write 5 sentences, five words, 30 words, 20 words. But unfortunately, I didn't follow that rule. I was writing there, for example, for 50 words, I was writing there 80. For 20, I was writing 50, 60, even I think 80 words. For part writing task 1, I was writing 100 something. So, and but my writing was C, like 46 or 48 out of 50. So what is really important then, I realized why they give me this score, even though I was like, doing more than they asked, I mean, the limit of the words. Most teachers think that if you write more than 150, they will cross out the rest of the text, or the like something like this. But it is not like that. Aptis, later on, I understood when I was preparing my teachers for Aptis, writing is not about whether you are able to write 20 words or 30 words. And as you know, like when you are writing, the word count is also shown below. And the most of them think that, okay, now my word limit 20 words I have reached, so I can stop here and I will move on to the next. But it doesn't work like this. Most of the writing, they look at the whole paragraph. For example, whether you manage to develop like a proper sentence, I mean proper idea in one paragraph. So that will be checked. And for example, if you have like a topic sentence and then you have enough supporting sentence, then even though this is, let it be like 50 words, let it be 45 words, as long as you manage to talk about one idea, then that is considered a good writing. So even when there is like in part 1 where you're supposed to write 5 words, I didn't write there 5 words. I gave like reasons why, for example, I like such weather, or why I live there. Like what kind of place. I tried to give the descriptions to give like a proper full answer, even though it was like 15 words. So I would say this is totally similar to this essay writing, because in IELTS writing, when we teach, we also teach them how to develop these paragraphs, like topic sentence. What kind of supporting sentence are there? So if a person can write one paragraph, so Aptis is also like, very easy. So I wouldn't say there is like a one way of preparing for Aptis. Sorry, where can we find Aptis resources? I mean, practice books, okay. You have mentioned different ways of self-preparation. How about listening? How can we improve it? What can you advise? Yes, we will be talking about this as well. Sorry if I have difficulties while listening test. Can you give some information about listening? Okay, good. Okay, that's why. Oh, sorry. Okay, first of all, as I said, whether you take Aptis, CFR, or IELTS, doesn't matter. This is like, imagine your level of English somewhere, let's say here, but the test that you are going to take is Aptis, CFR, and the IELTS. So there is not like a different path for IELTS, or there is different path for CFR, there's different path for Aptis. They're not that kind of roads. They're all, there is like a common, let's say English, it's like a common, like a globe. So just people choose which test they would like to take. So that's why when my students come, I first identify their level of English. If their level of English somewhere B1, I will tell them to increase their level of English to B2. As I said, I always prepare my students for this, based on these 5 skills. I'm not gonna prepare them only writing 20 words, or I'm not going to prepare them only writing for formal letters, because as you know, if you have paid attention to Aptis formal letters, they're kind of similar to essay type, because they ask you your how you felt, and then give like a suggestion. It is similar to IELTS writing problem and solution essays, because they say like you have to express how you feel. It's like a complaint letter, but you should know the feelings, and you should know the a polite way of saying your feelings. And another one is suggestions, is like related with the kind of solutions and how to give solutions. So there are like special structures for that one on IELTS. So the person who already know how to, write essays, so Aptis is not something difficult. But I know that most people think that IELTS materials are very difficult. No, they're not difficult. If you already increase your level of English to this B2 or even like a B2 plus, then IELTS materials are like, become very piece of cake. It's just, you don't understand this academic word. It's just your level of English should be maybe increased. But how to do that? Yes. First of all, identify your level of English. Placement tests is available on the internet for grammar, for everything. If your level of English B2, admit that you're in a level of English B2 and take a B2 or B1 like a course book. Like, for example, I'd like to achieve B2 or I'd like to achieve C1 because one thing that I have to say, most teachers, when they come, they say my level of English now B1, but after 2 months I have to take C1. It is impossible. Why it is impossible? Even what is that?
No, she speaks to her children. Camila, continue, please. She's speaking to her children.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. When I started learning German language, I did it in Goethe Institute. My purpose was there to see how teachers teach just German language to the person whose German language was 0. And for that purpose, I started taking classes there, and they offered like, for example, A1, A2, B1 levels in an intensive course. So it means that this until BD1, it is possible to learn English intensively. But as I wanted to do it in B2, they said we cannot offer B2 as an intensive because people cannot what is digest or get this B2 level information, B2 level of this English in a short time. It should be taught like for 4 months. We should accept that there are like a certain number of hours that help you to reach the certain level. So we should like let our brains to get the information the way it got used to get. It got used to getting. You cannot like automatically ask your brain, hey, I'm going to achieve C1 level in 2 months. That's why please learn now not 10 words but 100 words a day. So your brain will be working the same way it had used to work, right? So that's why this German language, I also learned French language. They give like a certain amount of time in order to achieve certain level. That's why you should take time and learn this and planning, like, real plans, not like imaginary plans. Oh, I should get in 2 months, because you all have families, you all have other duties to do. So putting like planning real plans kind of motivates you, because you know that, for example, if you said to yourself, I'm going to learn today 2 words and I'm going to write 2 sentences only, then it is easy to achieve. But if you really want to do more, then again, I'm going to do 5 sentences today. So it's like a little by little, but it is achievable tasks. Not like in 1 month, I'm going to finish this book. It is, you might get stressed because you couldn't achieve the goal you put forward. So later on, it becomes like I cannot do it myself. It's better to find a teacher and like get classes. So this is a concrete plan. Choose the resources that you enjoy doing. Do not bombard yourself with all the books. This is one example. If you now open Telegram channels, there are a lot of books. Get destination B2 or C1. Okay, you are taking C1, so use only destination C1 book. Or there is another person who suggests different kinds of books, and you print all of them, but you cannot use. So this is also wrong. Why? Because I also tried those kind of things. People give different kinds of resources and you print and you look at them, but they seem useless. So what I do is I look through this, books which you think very good, which you enjoy reading the topics, even the design of the book as well matters. For example, a Grammar Way and Grammar Way 4 and 3 books, I don't like those books, even though most people use it. Even I don't recommend it for my students, but I don't say like don't use it, but it is okay. I just don't say that use this book. Why? Because every person has their own preference. For example, my way of learning grammar was I need all the rules to be separated on a separate page, and I want the exercises like, on a different page. So I like this organization of the book. But in Grammar Way, I think there's a little grammar rule, then exercise rule, and the exercise. It seems like I am kind of learning one rule and just one exercise. So I don't find it very challenging. But then after all the rules, they give all this like, mixed kind of exercise, which I might forget already. But in Murphy, you see this all 4 rules and then exercises. And it's the same thing to other resources. For example, if you feel comfortable with Headway, yes, you can use. because the texts might seem easy, or there might be more grammar exercises which you enjoy. But as a teacher, I also use it, Headway books a lot when I first started teaching, but nowadays I don't use this Headway book. I use different book, which I will show later. And the facilities. Yes, you should have your favorite pencil, you should have your good notebook and a good table and chair. So that is also important, especially having your favorite pencil or pen, because you should see how good that pencil or pen writes when you are making notes or essays. So, and partner, that's a kind of optional thing. Because when I asked some people how they improved their English, they say that I found a person from these different kinds of apps, what's Cambly, I don't know, different kinds of applications actually. But that way, they said that they have improved their, speaking. So yes, if you have that kind of chance, then yeah, that's a very good option. But if you are type of person like me who is difficult to talk to people, especially native people, then my way, it's a self-talk. And the venue. Yes, the place, the environment is very important. Most of you think that at home I will do preparation because there will be nobody, but still you will be doing the housework. Oh, I forgot to clean that place. Oh, I had to this and that. I have to clean the fridge. And then English is left in the end when the family members all come, and that's it, you forget about English. So it's better to run out of that area, which reminds you all the different kinds of tasks, and stay somewhere out, even cafes or your one room in your school, and separating the level of vocabulary. That's one of my, I think, notebook, I wrote it wrong. Sorry for the spelling mistakes. That's one of my students whom I'm working now with, who got 7 on IELTS. She gave me this kind of study plan when I asked her how she achieved this 7. She said like she divides informal and formal words into 2 separate vocabulary. And when she wants to speak, she opens this informal words, and then when she looks at this vocabulary, she comes up with this, different kinds of sentence, and then starts talking. But when what about writing? She looks at this formal vocabulary and then comes with this, all the words that she has read from the context, or the sentence she used maybe in her previous writings, or the word that the sentence which contains this word, she used it, she jotted down in her separate notebook. Just a second. What books will you advise for speaking part of Aptis? Yes, I will tell. Okay, I should move on to that part because all the questions are there. I'll come back to this later. Yes, the book I'm going to advise is Solutions. I think you have heard a lot about this book. And this is the best book I have ever used. I used the 2nd edition 3 years ago. Now I'm using the 3rd edition. I'm learning a lot from this book, and every time I come up with these new words, I get so excited, and I look forward to IELTS exams where I can use it, So what I liked about this book is they're all topic related. This one unit is not finished so fast. There are like 8 lessons. And then also design, I love it because if you look at this, first they give the vocabulary in the first lesson, and then different kinds of personality adjectives. Personality adjectives are very important in IELTS speaking. And then B unit is grammar. I didn't take that part. And then listening. So like a press intrusion, press, it is like, you know, in IELTS it's about news, whether you believe, do you think that bad news should be restricted or not? There are different, that kind of questions in IELTS. So there you can get, you know, ideas for that. Then, yes, if you look at this content of the book, just a second. Solutions, yes, exactly. Solutions. TESOL. Good evening, Ms. Camila. Could you give any information about the difference between national certificate, SALTA, Delta, TESOL, TEFL? Take it because I'm preparing for the updates test now. Okay, I'll try. What about the content of the book? Yes, as I said, for example, Unit 2, it drives me crazy. Vocabulary, grammar, listening, reading, and D, infinitives and gerunds. Again, grammar, word skills, which is really important for your use of English, and G, speaking, and then last lesson is writing. So I love this book, and this is very I mean, for self-study also, like, you know, it will not cause any kind of problem, because they teach you vocabulary, then they teach you grammar, you listen a lot of information and also teaches you vocabulary there. You read a text there, and there you again learn vocabulary, and they teach you different kinds of grammar, and again preposition and nouns, how to use it. And already you are using what you have learned in A, B, C, D, E, F, you're using in speaking in G unit. And finally, you write an essay for and against. So it's like everything is given. All you need to do is not digest and practice. You will not, like, you know, at the end of the unit, you will not end up with, what am I going to write? I have no information. No, solution doesn't leave you with this kind of feeling. You will definitely have this idea, which you got from listening, which you got from reading, and vocabulary is there, and as well the grammar. Grammar is not boring anymore. There are like what is that, different kinds of topics there for speaking, and again at the end they will give you different kinds of ideas where you have to agree or disagree, which is really good for speaking part 3. And they will also give you some internet research, American English, like negative structures like inversions, right? So which is a kind of cool type of sentence structure, I would say, for writing essays. And there are a lot of small strategies that you can use for reading, writing, listening, for use of English. And those strategies I again repeat when I am doing 2 or 3 months IELTS course after finishing this, you know, upper intermediate. The topics, for example, this part here, what can be done to improve environment where you live? So there is like a question about environment, and I found the same kind of question on IELTS speaking. Describe a change that can improve your local area. So this is what you can do for speaking. And some of my teachers who took SEFR C1, they were also saying like, they were like topics about holidays on speaking. They were able to use the vocabulary which they learned from this book, because, you know, holiday is a kind of topic which is difficult to answer, especially in our culture, as we usually do not travel. So, but there are a lot of ideas to give. So how to justify your ideas and the things. In general, that was my presentation. And there I thought like any course book which you enjoy. For example, I am enjoying Solutions Upper Intermediate, and I myself doing advanced level of this book, like both course book and students book, because usually teachers do not take advanced courses. They, after, you know, finishing this upper intermediate level, this B2, my teachers take CFR C1 and they get CFR C1 level. And I'm now crazy about this reading challenge 3. I think you've heard about it. I got this book from one of the this Sefer Aptis channels, and I'm really enjoying this book. The topics are so great for IELTS and self-talk, as I said, diary. I'm not sure whether you're still doing this old-fashioned way of writing, because I still do it. Copying essays. Copying essays is, for example, there are like books where they say this is IELTS 9 essays or IELTS 8. I usually just copy them and learn the phrases which might be helpful to write in my future essays. And sometimes I just look at the topic of an essay and take some notes, write it, and then compare with the essay which is given there. But before writing my essay, I don't look at that, so that I can see, oh, I should have given this kind of idea in this way, because mine looks so long, or I have given this tiny idea in 4 or 5 sentences, but here he gave it in a complex sentence. So I just compare. I always listen to BBC, especially in the morning. It just takes me 10 minutes to get from my house to this workplace, and definitely I make a good use of that 10 minutes. It's 6-minute vocabulary, you know, this very special BBC podcasts on Telegram. So and I also share it with my students. They also come up, you know, listen to their podcasts, and then we talk about it a bit. Watching films only in English. Yes, unfortunately, I'm not doing it very often nowadays, as I don't have time for English movies. But when I had Netflix, I used to do it. Yes, when it comes to Uzbek or in Russian, I never do that. I don't understand Russian movies. It gets really difficult for me to, you know, to think and then translate it. Recording myself, definitely I'll do it. I record myself. First of all, I hated my, when I did first time, I hated my voice, but I found out a lot of my mistakes, which I don't usually pay attention. You should try it. You will laugh a lot. And compare yourself with IELTS environment. That's what I said, like you should choose a venue where you can work. For example, today I stayed in my language center, because when I go home, there are a lot of kids who will not give me to work properly. So that's, I don't know how you do it. I'm sure you have these ideas, what kind of places are good for you to, like, at least to have 1 or 2 hours. So that is my overall kind of information which I wanted to share with you. Now, welcome, like, for your tips for self-studying, if I have mentioned, or I really want to know other tips as well, or books that you recommend. Oh, sorry. Where is it? There are some questions. Reading challenge is the name of the book. Yes, it is the name of the book. What is the name of this book? Which book?
Solutions.
Oh, solutions.
Yeah,
yes.
they are asking about solutions. Yeah.
Look, this is the solution. I will show you. This is on my. desktop. I don't know how to get rid of this one. Wait,
It is
sorry.
okay.
Just, yeah, this is solutions, third edition, solutions upper intermediate, Tim Falla and Paul A. Davies. This is actually, you know, very good for this one, Aptis speaking. You asked at Aptis speaking, right? Pre-intermediate, intermediate, especially 1G. If you look at this 1G, here. Yeah, photo comparison. All the G units you should pay attention, yeah, on this, what is that called? The pre-intermediate ones. They teach you all this comparing vocabulary, both photos show, in both photos you can see, you see. What kind of adjectives you need to use, and they also give you the photos of the for, you know, talking. Like, I can't be sure, because in Aptis speaking, speculation is very important. Unfortunately, in our culture, we never speculate. We just say, like, oh, there are a lot of people, they are all fans, and there is a celebrity in the car, but we're not sure they're all fans. They might be like journalists. So we kind of should say like, oh, they might be fans, there might be some free press. However, in the second photo, they seem to be like a famous celebrity who might be coming for Oscar ceremony, you know. So might be, could be, can be, you know, this is kind of things are very important to use in speaking. That's called speculating. And other 2G as well gives you that kind of information. For example, here, role play. I never do this lesson. I mean, 2G, this 2 even exactly 2G, I never do. But 3G then gives you other phrases like moving on to another topic. This is good for Aptis part 4, where you are supposed to speak for 2 minutes. And there will be 3 questions, right? So like, it means there are 3 topics. So I will be moving from topic to topic, using that. As far as people in my country concerned, well, and then this, turning to the, what is that, subject, turning now to the topic of what is the next question about. So they teach this kind of key phrases and then strategies. So, and then they have this kind of writing. They will give you strategy. You can write it because it has a teacher's book where you can see the answers, and they have progress tests and listenings and even short tests. It's like a really good book for self-study, and cumulative tests as well. Oh, sorry, what did I do?
Thank you.
I can share this book as well if you don't have, but on internet it is also available. I got it from the internet. Solutions, third edition. Yeah, and also this, if you can use it for your students in intermediate as well. There are topics for speaking there. Yes, this is what I can talk. Sorry, there are some questions. Where to find resources for Aptis for teachers? We really need to practice materials for this exam, especially reading. Can you prompt us on this? Reading, just a second. Wait, where is it? Oh my God. Okay. Aptis certificate for secondary school teachers or higher. Yes, we can download higher establishment teachers too. I think Aptis for school teachers as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Reading Challenge is the name of the book. Where to find resources for Aptis for teachers? As I said, unfortunately, there is not a like a material which is called, this is only for aptis, or this is only for CFR C1. All the books are designed to increase and to you know, boost your level of English, and those and these books like Headway or the Solutions or whatever you call like Face-to-Face, and there is also Inside Out book. If you look at those books, they all teach you to prepare for APTIS, CFR, and even IELTS. If you already can do well in reading, for example, this reading, let's say, this, what is that called? The F unit is all about reading. If you already understand what is written there or the main point of this reading, then it means you can take APTIS. For example, I will also show you this book, Active Reading. I've collected this book as well. It also divided into levels. One is for elementary, then pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate. For my for teachers who are taking CFR C1,
Camila.
they did. This is also a very good book. Oh, cannot hear?
It is okay. It's okay now.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
Earlier you couldn't.
A bit short interruption. Yeah. Earlier.
Okay. I was talking about this active reading. If you have a problem with reading, then you need to take a reading book and do that one. For example, reading and understanding. So, as I said earlier, there is not a way of saying APTIS reading is really difficult for me. It's not APTIS reading is difficult. It's in general reading is difficult for you. So it means you need to work on vocabulary or maybe grammar. So we should know what is really the problem, what the problem is really. So perhaps you don't understand the connection of the sentence, or when you translate it, you cannot make sense. That's the thing. But APTIS for teachers is different from APTIS general or APTIS advanced. It contains educational content only. Yes, that's right. But unfortunately, there is not a material for APTIS for teachers. But why it should be difficult? Because the questions are all about your classroom. For example, I remember I had this lesson planning. How do you usually plan your lesson? So don't you think that it is much easier to come up with the ideas, because that is something you expose yourself all the time. So it must be easier to write from your own experience. But when it comes to general, for example, I might not have experience of fixing something, but the question is all about that. So yeah. Good evening. How can we improve our listening skill? In APTIS exam, listening is the most difficult part. Really? Okay. When it comes to listening, is there anyone who can give tips for improvement of listening?
Just to improve listening, you should just listen. Yeah. Because why I say that? Because in general, many of us, most of us, don't listen to an English content. As you have said before, we might have time to listen to an English content only while going to work. After that, we forget about it. We go to school and start working, and then we come back home and start doing our housework. So we don't spare our time to listening. And that's why I say, if we want to improve listening, we should listen all the time and only in English. And it might seem a bit of difficult, but it would be good. You get to use to it step by step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there is like two things about listening. One thing is, first of all, our ears should get used to English words.
Earphones.
Yes.
Earphones, first of all. No,
Yeah.
first of all, our ears should get used to headphones.
That's
Yeah.
right. And understand, like all the exams usually checking either your gist,
Understanding.
general understanding, specific question, your attitudes. Attitude thing, I found out about it when I was teaching this solutions upper intermediate. I never saw that attitudes can be also checked. How this person is speaking, in what kind of attitude. Are they being sarcastic, or are they approving what another person is saying, or they are disapproving? So they are being maybe critical. So there are some kind of questions about it as well. And because I made a mistake, I didn't know that he was being sarcastic, and I thought, like, when we are making sarcasm, we say like, hey, yes, you did really well. Yeah, I don't know what I have done without you. But I don't mean that, actually. So this book, this solutions book, teach you the tone of the voice. When you really mean that he was really helpful, you kind of increase. Then you speak it with high pitch. But when you are being sarcasm, it goes down. So listening, they also give you that kind of conversations, so that you understand he's being sarcastic, and then you choose the answer. No, he doesn't like that person. But the way he uses the words, like, he likes that person, and I already made a mistake in that one if I chose this, he likes that person. So the book teaches you how to understand their sarcasm, for attitude, and for gist, and for specific information. Mostly we know about gist and specific information, but I myself didn't know about attitudes. So I think, yes, as Salima Pas said, the only way is to improve, to listen. So useful to listen podcasts, we can learn new phrases. Also, it's so helpful to watch movies. Furthermore, listening to music is also one of the ways of improving this one. Given text, and you should summarize the text in your words, not copying from the text. My question is, what book will you recommend for learning summarizing texts?
Kamil Jalilov.
I don't know whether there is a book about summarization, because summary is like what you understand from there. With, for example, if you have watched this 2-hour movie, when you retell this 2-hour movie to someone else, you're not going to speak for 2 hours, right? You speak like 2 or 3 minutes. I think this is the same thing. What would you exactly speak about this particular movie, or what you have read? For example, here, 500 words. What exactly you would like to talk from this text? What is it trying to say here? I think that is the summary. There's nothing like new about this summary writing. For example, this text talks about, for example, in reading challenge here, I usually give my students read it or see it. This organization of this book also really cool. This one is in your aptis, where you have to match these definitions. And my students read this text, and I ask them what this text is trying to say, what kind of message is it sending? Because some of them even learn by heart it, and then when I ask the question why this text is written, they cannot answer. For example, this book compares this text compares the movie version and the book version of this films. For example, Past Times, Utken Kullar. Which one is good, the book or the movie? And I compare it.
Or Kite Runner. Kite Runner.
Kite Runner, exactly. The book is great, but the movie doesn't get so much approach. Or
is a bit of yeah.
Or Gone with the Wind, for example, with for all of us, right? The book is also cool, and the movie is also like, you know, fantastic. So we are, yeah, we will be talking about. And they give you short reading kind of questions, and they teach you idiomatic phrases. And then this is in your aptis you will have, right? Where you have to drag this word and then put it somewhere necessary. So this is also good practice for those who are taking, and there is also listening. You see, multiple choice and grammar, and in there you will write a short answer. And there is example as well, similar to this one, and the test, and that's it. They move to the second topic. The topics are also interesting here. I love Cambridge series. Yes, that's right. TOEFL IBT has info about summary in writing. Yeah, they might be. To practice, these books are so helpful. Actually, practice makes perfect. I agree with you, Mugluda Mambietava. I've always problem with reading task 3, making up a story by using the sentence in correct order. What the hint of it, or are there any materials to improve this part? Is it aptis? That one. Yes, there is this one. I found this material for that one. If you have looked through that English tests online, have you been to that one? There is this, what's that called? Paragraph completion tasks. This is really...
Yeah. Paragraph completion. Yeah, paragraph completion.
You see, you have to find out A, B, C, D, E. Which one is the best match? I think this should be good practice for that one. And there are like answers for this, you can see. It's English tests online. And there was, there was another, where is it? Okay, it's not working.
Yeah. English tests online.com.
Yes,
I
English
have practiced it. It is so useful site. Yeah. Yes. It is very useful. Yes. Online tests.
That's right. Sentence completion. I think this is also the same type of practice for that one. This is advanced. What is the next of the sentence? This will help you to practice better. And the one which you were asking was also here, like irrelevant sentences also. So when you already know what sentence is not good there, out of this 5 or 6, you already know what comes after what.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this should be good for you. So English, there is the site here. Yes, englishtestsonline.com. You can do it online as well. What's the name of the book?
I have practiced this site a lot.
Yeah.
It was helpful for getting my C1 degree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was helpful. It is good site.
Yes. Pardon, would you recommend reading challenge series? I have printed. Yes, definitely. Reading challenge. I don't know, for me, it was really interesting book. I'm learning a lot, especially vocabulary and the grammar. Yeah, good for you. To the improved part, yes, Aptis. What's the name of the book? It is, as I said, it is mostly tests. I think you need to do mostly test here. And there was, for that one, I will give you one. What was it called? I'm not sure if I have it now, but step-by-step listening. There was this kind of book, step-by-step listening, but unfortunately it's not on my desktop now. And there was this, even though this is a
I can
listening book,
share it. Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
I can share it.
yeah, there was this part 4 where
I can
they
share
jumble.
it to Jamila.
Ah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
English, what was this name of this site? Just a second.
Which side?
This English test online. Yes,
Online.
English
Online.
tests
English test online.
Yes, English tests online. Yes, this all. Wait, what about the step-by-step listening? There was this book as well. And there, this part 4, they jumble this text like dialects, and you have to put it in the correct order. That was also good
Yeah.
for this one, where you were saying that it was difficult for you. It was reading part 2 or 3. I'm not sure. Have you looked that? Do you know that book? Salima?
Step-by-step listening.
Yes,
Step-by-step
yes.
listening.
Yes.
Yeah, I always use it. It is useful. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I have complete set of it, and I will just share. I am looking for in my computer. I will just share it to Jamilapa, and Jamilapa will
I'll spread it
send
among
to all
my
groups.
Yes. Yes. That's right. That is
Yeah,
also good.
Yeah, you will spread it.
Yeah.
I will do it right now.
Good. Thank you. Really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Any
for
more
it.
questions?
So overall, Camila, I have just come to into a conclusion that there is not a way of practicing for the one kind of exam, like I am preparing for APTIS, or I am preparing for CFR, or I am preparing to IELTS. There is one way, just I am improving my language skills. If I am good at, if I have a C1 in CFR, and I will get maybe I might get C1 to on APTIS 2. Okay,
Exactly.
am I right?
Exactly. You are right.
Yeah. Or if I have a band 6 or 6.5 in IELTS, I can take APTIS and I can get the same level on that APTIS.
I would say if you get 6.5 on writing, I mean, your overall score is 6.5 on IELTS, you might even achieve the CFR, C1, and even APTIS, C1. Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, because you do a lot of effort in order to achieve that score. Maybe half score might be like less, you know, in IELTS, you have to divide all the scores into 4.
Any questions, guys? Oh my God, it's nearly 2 hours.
Thank you, Camila. Camila, it was useful. I was waiting for this webinar from the very beginning of seeing the announcement.
I was really glad.
But unfortunately, at the beginning, I couldn't enter because of my computer had some problems. But fortunately, I did it. My husband helped me to solve the problem.
Great.
Yeah, I have sent it, Jamilapa. Jamilapa, I have sent it to you.
Okay.
It's a bit hard. I mean,
thank you.
Step-by-step listening, complete set with MP3s and answer keys and dictations. All of the
Very
books.
good.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much.
Spread it to
Okay, I'll do
you
it.
can spread it to the group.
Yes, I'll do it after the webinar. So guys, okay, will you close your, is it the end of your presentation, Camila? If
Yes,
will
yes,
you
if
close
there
your screen? So, and, okay.
Oh, my email address, I will just write. I'm not sure if.
CamilaBirdibayeva@gmail.com.
Oh, sorry. Yes, .com. Yes, exactly.
Окей. Камила, вы так прекратить трансляцию участника. Okay. So we are now back. Okay, guys, we have a very interesting webinar. From step by step, our UST webinars became more and more popular among ELTs of Uzbekistan, and not only Uzbekistan. Some of the teachers from Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan wanted to join us later in our other webinars. Camila, first of all, I'm very glad to see you, because
I'm very glad to see you too.
I miss you. Bila mana qizim, Camila qizim mana Barnosha o'tiribdi, Abdurasulova, Salimaxon, hamma yana lolalar bor edi. Uzr, hammanglarni aytgan bo'lsam, ovoz beringlar, tevtichilar. Mana tevtichilarni ustozlar natijasi qayerda? Mana Camilani men birinchi 15-yil ko'rgan bo'lsam, o'shandan beri uni achievementiga men shu hammamiz yugursak ham yetolmaymiz, tovonini ham ushlolmayapmiz. Juda odimlab ketyapti. Halimaxonda mana Barno, Lola ko'riningda endi. Lola Uzakova TFT ekspertimiz, trenerimiz, u ham yaqinda Amerikadan keldilar. Lola, где ты там? Вот. Mana Lola Uzakova. Mana Lola Uzakova tayyor.
Uxlayapti-ku Lola.
Ha, Lolaxon yaqinda mana men nimaga sizlarni bu yerga webinarga kiringlar deyman. Mana hozir kamida Camila, Lola, Barno Abdurasulova, Salimaxon TFTchilar, Ustini TFTchilari. Agar kimdir men ko'rmayotgan bo'lsam, uzr. Mana ustozlar boshqalar ko'rib havas qilinglar. Bilasizlarmi? Sizlar ham keyin mana shu webinarlardan chiqib alam qism operatsiyasini qilinglar. Chunki bizda Ustida shunaqa narsa bor. Nanayimiz bor edi. Alam qism operatsiyasi. Ustozlar bilasizlarmi? Biza O'zbekistonni любой точкasiga shunaqa seminar bo'lyapti desak, hamma biza albatta prikaz bo'lardi через ministerstvolar. Hamma o'z yonidan bilet olgan, boshqa qilgan, borib sovuq, qaysi Farg'onani sovuq yotoqxonada.
Qo'qonda Azizaniki kelganingizlarda.
Undan oldin Farg'onada ham sovuq yeganmiz. Hech qismi mana tirikmiz, ovozlarimiz qo'ng'iroqday. Mana Amerikalarga borib kelishyapti, Hornbini Angliyada qilishyapti. Mana el yurt Umidi jamg'armasidan olimjon kelishdi. U yerda Mirsobitov yuribdilar, anaqa Mirjalol. Manki ustidan foyda bo'lsa bo'ldiki, zarar ko'rishmadi. Hammasi sizlarni o'zingizlarga bog'liq. Yana bitta narsa, men hali rahmatimni kattasini hali tayyorlab qo'yganman, to'xtab turinglar. Esdan chiqib qoladi endi 70 yoshli ledini nima deysizlar endi. Ustozlar, men 70 yoshga to'laman. Yubiley qilsak kelasizlar. Просто bir xil yashirishadi yoshini. Endi yashirar ekanman. Hech kim menga bermaydi u 70 yoshni. Men ham olmayman. Okay.
To'g'ri.
Endi qaranglar. Mana ingliz tili o'qituvchilar uyushmasi, nima o'zbekcha gapiryapman chunki tilim charchab ketadi. Yil unaqani oxiriga, kunning oxiriga biza USTI AQSh elchixonasidan grant yutganmiz. Eshitmagan bo'lsangiz eshitinglar, necha ming dollar uni aytmayman, yaxshigina. Endi ishlatiladi endi. Mana 5 ta konferensiya qilyapmiz. Bu webinarlarga hech tegishi joyi yo'q. USTI konferensiyasini qilyapmiz. Mana shu yerda ko'pchilik USTIga a'zo bo'lganlar. Birinchi a'zo bo'lish kerak, prezent qiladiganlar, prezenterlar. Ikkinchidan USTIni qandaydir qay darajada bir qo'llab-quvvatlash uchun va yil davomida mana shunaqa webinar va mana hali ham kirishyapti. Webinar va har xil konferensiya, xudo xolasa bu omikroni butun umrga emas axir. Biza TFT bilan surib tashlaymiz o omikronlarini. Demoqchimanki, juda ko'p narsalarda ishtirok etasizlar. Mana o'sha a'zo bo'lganlar keyingi jumadan boshlab Ustini 5 ta kaskad konferensiyasida ishtirok etadi. Xalqaro ekspertlarni ishtirokida. Online boshidan online kelishilgandi. 5 hafta 20 mana 20 nechi bo'ladi? 20 shu keyingi jumadan oxirgisi 25 fevraldan 5 ta konferensiya. Iltimos bizani qo'llaylar, ustiga a'zo bo'linglar. O'zingizlarga ham sertifikat va konferensiyani oxirida sizlarga har bitta konferensiyadan keyin sertifikat beriladi. Mana Salimaxonni biz o'ylayapmiz, sertifikatni katta kichikligini qanday qilsa ekan? A4 bo'lsa kam. Shu A3 qilsak to'ji kam. Shu bitta vatman qog'ozidek bitta sertifikat yasayapmiz Usti nomidan. Chunki u har doim bizning webinarimizda. Yo bo'lmasa o'sha vatman qog'ozini A4 ga bo'lib shuncha sonini yo salmoqli qilib beramiz yoki soniga qarab beramiz. Mana Salimaxon sizga ham katta rahmat. Hammangizga Menga bir og'iz ayting, foyda bormi, yo'qmi? Mana masalan
bor.
Mana
Bor.
TFTdan boshladi. Salimaxonim TFTdan boshladi. Mana biz o'sha
Jamila opa. Voy Jamila opa. Meni TFTdan boshlamang. 2003-yildan boshlang. Menga feedback bergan yilingizdan boshlang. Bir uyimni devoriga teng keladigan sertifikat bersangiz ham yetmaydi.
Voy rahmat. Ana ko'rdinglar, motivation deb
2003da feedback berganingiz sizga yo'q mana.
Ana aytingda hamma eshitsin, menga qaytadan.
Yo'q, foydasi bor. O'zini foydasi bor.
Mana bu
Juda
yerda
katta foydasi bor.
so'rashibdi how to join. Ustozlar, men sizlarga mana shu webinarimizni anaqasi biz hozir butunlay naвороченный stali ustida. Bizning aytishniklar yigitlarimiz bor. Ular e'lonlarni qilishadi. Mana sizlarni bu oxirgi e'londa yozilgan membership application kirasizlar, kirasizlar. Oson. Oxirida QR kod chiqadi. QR kodda telefoningizda bundoq bosasiz QR kod, o'tda bank raqami chiqsa kerak, Kamila, yangi zaполнил это. И keyin 120 ming to'lanadi degani. Faqat yaxshiroq bo'ladi, menga screenshot qilib to'landi deb menga jo'natsanglar. Men shug'ullanaman-da shu bilan. Shuning uchun hisobot uchun kerak. Demoqchimanki, keyingi jumagacha harakatinglarni qilib qolinglar. Mana Barnosha ham. Bu yerda ko'pchiliginglar a'zo bo'lmagansizlar, lekin bu safar biz sizlarga berdik buni. Foydasi bo'lsin. Biz a'zolik bilan birga boyib ketayotgan joyimiz yo'q. Biroz ozgina bizani qo'llab-quvvatlaylar deganda. Mana yana o'sha o'zimizni eski anaqalarimiz. Andijon 1-o'rinda. Farg'ona Ustiga a'zo bo'lish anaqasida. Rahmat. Andijon, rahmat. Qo'qonda endi Farg'ona deganimda Qo'qon aymin.
Shuda endi.
Endi shunaqa. Shunga hurmatli ustozlar, bizning konferensiyalarimizda ishtirok etinglar. Xalqaro bo'ladi. Elchixona odamlari bo'ladi. UNICEF, UNESCO, European Union bo'ladi. ETF bor. European Teaching Foundation, mana shunaqa nomi, shular bo'ladi. Har tomonlama ham zo'r vazirliklarimiz, MNOlarimiz, начальный bo'yicha ham, mana o'rta oliy maxsus xalq ta'limi ham vazirliklar bo'ladi. Обязательно sertifikatinglar bo'ladi. Mana sizlarni yaqinda boyagi ustamaylarni qilib oldinglarmi? Ko'pchilik menga sertifikat qanaqa esdan chiqqan bo'lsa, Ustinikini jo'natdik. Ro'yxatimizga qaradik, familiyasi turgan bo'lsa, bizatni jo'natdik. Endi hozir biz
attestatsiyaga.
Mana dedingiz, Salimaxon?
Attestatsiyaga hujjat qildik. O'shanda so'rashdi.
Bo'ldimi o'sha, tugadimi? Yana
yo'q.
Bo'lmasa ko'ringlar-da, savol
hali bo'lyapti. 20 fevralgacha olishadi.
Bo'ldi, unda murojaat qilinglar, anaqa qolib ketgan sertifikatinglar bo'lsa beramiz. Mana men bu yerda ham 4 marta ishtirok etgan bo'lishsa, ro'yxatlarimiz bilan sverka qilamizda beramiz. Nu Salimaxonni aytdim o'sha vatman qog'ozida bitta anaqaga ilib qo'yasiz. Keyin juda xohlardik sizlar ishlayotgan joylarda ustikonalar qilsanglar agar. Esinglardami?
Yangi maktab bitib qoldi.
Kollejimda ustikona qilib, shov-shov qilib hammamiz qilyaptik. Endi kollejlar, litseylar ham haligiga bo'lgani uchun bilganicha просто demoqchimanki, rosa ko'p rejalarimiz bor, rosa grantlar yutyapmiz ustozlar, hammasi sizlar uchun. Ustini men aytyapmanki, xalqaro miqyosda juda obro'yi ko'tarilib ketyapti. Ko'pchilik vazirliklar ham hammasi ham murojaat qilishib, bizlar bilan hamkorlik qilish niyatida. Biz ham nima qilyapmiz? Bizning asosiy maqsadimiz sizlar ELTizlarga yordam berish. Shu. Okay. If you have any questions, Haliyam kirishmoqchi Muhiddinov. Okay, so thank you very much, Kamilchka.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate. On behalf of USTI, I want to tell you my heart gratitude to your time for coming for at this part of day, night. Okay, night.
It is always a pleasure to work with USTI, and I'm really glad to do it again all the time.
Okay, just remember about it. Don't forget. You promise.
Yes.
So the next is Lola, and we have Farzona from Al Malik. Lola, are you here? Or
Lola is sleeping.
Yes, I'm here.
okay, so Lola, be ready, and Salima Khan, you are in the list, in the short list of presenters of USTI. But
Okay.
25 of February, you won't be disturbed by USTI, and you have
Okay.
a whole month, and be well prepared. And just give us topics, your smiling photos, and the rest is our thing. Okay?
Jamila opa,
Hola.
savollar yana bo'lyapti. Hozir men so'rashyapti-da. Haligi onlayn konferensiya degan narsa har juma mana shu vebinarni o'rnida soat 8da bo'ladi, shundaymi?
Webinarlarimiz 9:da, konferensiya bo'ladi. Konferensiyamiz bo'ladi 2 soat. 2 soat rovna. Chunki boshqa iloji yo'q, mana bu pandemiya u yoq bu yoq deb. Bo'lmasa bizlar offline ham qilmoqchi edik. Yo'q, anaqa bo'ladigan bo'ldi.
Tushunarli. Demak,